Pnawn da, good afternoon. My name is Rebecca Davis and I'm one of Conway's Committee Services Officers. Can I welcome everyone to the meeting, which is a multi-location meeting? Can I remind members that translation facilities are available? If you want to make use of this facility, please select the English language option on the microphone delegate unit if you're in the council chamber. For those attending remotely, please click on the audio settings tab and select English. In addition to committee members, we also have officers joining us to assist with our discussions together with any registered speakers. The meeting will be live streamed and recorded and will be available for viewing after the meeting. Should the live stream fail, the meeting will continue and a recording will be available through the council's website following the conclusion of the meeting. For those wishing to speak in the chamber, please indicate by raising your hand and turn on your microphone when it is your turn to speak. In order for those online to be able to hear the translation at all times, for those remote attendees wishing to speak, please use the yellow hand function. When I call your name to speak, or the chair calls your name to speak, at that point, please press the push to speak button. If you have a point of order, just press the push to speak button. In order to maintain your place in the speaker queue, when asking a question, please leave your microphone on until you have received a response and asked any supplementary questions. For those attending remotely, please note that those in the chamber will be unable to use the chat facility. Remote attendees, if you do need to leave the meeting temporarily, please pop a message in the chat function. I'll now hand over to Rachel, who will take the appointment of chair on the agenda.
Diolch, thank you. Symudwn ni ymlaen felly I benodi cadeirydd i'r Pwyllgor Cynllunio. A oes unrhyw enwebiadau, Cynghorydd Austin?
Diolch yn fawr. Hoffwn ni enwebu y cynghorydd Ifor Lloyd fel cadeirydd.
Na ni. Oes a eilydd I hynny? Cynghorydd Joe, diolch. A oes unrhyw enwebiadau eraill? Nag oes. Felly os fydwch chi bleidleisio yn y ffordd arferol wrth codi llaw, sgwlwch yna. Na ni, a pob ar-lein. Na ni, a mae hynny'n ymfrydol, ond gawn ni jyst cadarnhau unrhyw un yn erbyn ac unrhyw un yn ymatal. Na ni, mae hynna wedi gario felly. Llongyfarchiadau, Cynghorydd Ifor Lloyd. Sa'ch chi'n licio dod i fyny?
Diolch yn fawr. A diolch am y cefnogaeth ac yr ymryddiolaeth ynddo. Ga I symud ymlaen wan I eitem 2 ar yr agenda, penodi is-gadeirydd. Cynghorydd Austin Roberts.
Diolch yn fawr. Hoffwn ni enwebu y cynghorydd Tristan Lewis fel is-gadeirydd y pwyllgor yma.
Diolch yn fawr. Sgynna I eilydd i'r gynnig yna? Councillor Alan Hunter. Na fo. Gynigydd eilydd. Sgynna I cynnig arall o gwbl. Nag oes. Felly, na I ofyn. Dewch chi gyd dangos yn y ffordd arferol, os dda. O bo blaid. Rwy'n yn erbyn. A rwy'n eisiau ymatal. Na, felly, fedra I gadarnhau bod y cynghorydd Tristan Lewis yn is-gadeirydd. Diolch yn fawr. Eitem 3. Ymddiheuriadau am absenoldeb. Becca?
Yes, we've had one from Councillor Chris Cater and one from Councillor Tristan Lewis.
Diolch yn fawr iawn chi. Eitem 4. Datgan cysylltiad. Ga I jyst atgoffa chi bod rhaid I chi ddatgan bodolaeth a natur eich cysylltiadau personol. Sgyn rwy'n cysylltiad? Nag oes? Da iawn. Mater yn brys. Is rhywbeth yn codi? Becca? Nag oes? Dim byd yn codi. Da iawn. Eitem 6. Cyfnodion o'r cyfarfod blaenorol. Ga I ofyn I rwy'n gynnig bod ni'n cymryd all cofnodion y cyfarfod dwytha ar yr 13 o mis Mai. Cynghorydd Austin Roberts, yn eilydd. Joe Nuttall. Chi dangos, os gwch dda. Diolch yn fawr chi. Eitem 7. Cais cynllunio dim blaensaes 52434. 34 Cadnan Park, Gonwy. Mae gen i 2 siaradwr heddiw yma. A mi na i ofyn i Mrs Mary Louise Edwards, i'n bresennol, ddod i fyny. Croeso, Mary. Dwi am ddechrau'r cloc pan ydych chi'n cychwyn siarad. Mae'n cael 3 munud a na i roed rhybydd o 1/2 munud i chi cyn y diwedd. Diolch yn fawr.
Prynhawn da, a diolch yn fawr am y cyfle i siarad eto heddiw. Good afternoon and thank you for the chance to speak again today. Once again, I represent hundreds of very concerned residents and objectors. Since your minded to refuse decision in January, changes to the drainage and access road have made the proposals very much worse in planning and amenity terms. We're astonished that only this morning the Highways Authority have acknowledged that the visibility display fails to meet the required safety standards. Objectors have been pointing this out with evidence since the start of this application in March 25 and in the pre-application consultation in late 24. This has caused needless effort and stress for residents and, we're sure, for other council officers. However, the visibility display is not the only problem. On the access road, the proposal is that all the hedges and tree are removed and replaced with retaining walls, some 60 metres long on the north side, visible from the road with no room for screen planting. The road will be at roof level only metres away from number 32, so that pedestrians and hire vehicles will be able to overlook all the garden and windows of number 32 and also of number 36. It is not visually or structurally acceptable, being on the bank severely destabilised by the removal of large mature hedges and tree. This alone is reason to refuse the application on highway grounds. The very steep hill, on-street parking, blind bends and single-lane bridge additionally constitute clear reasons for highway refusal. In the light of the acknowledgement of the access road problems, we would urge committee to listen to our valid concerns regarding the drainage proposals. The scheme is to be built on the steep north bank facing the national park. There would be 6 tanks stepping right down the slope, then for 30 metres along the bank, massive retaining walls in total over 6 metres high, with a 1.8 metre fence on top. That's 26 feet facing the national park, with huge ecological loss and potentially dangerous bank stability issues. The very steep parts of plots 12 and 13 would be raised by around 4 metres. The step tanks require removal of existing hedge, and the tree officer says that proposed screen planting is likely incompatible. The SAB in the addendum says that the water discharge point on the boundary connects directly with the receiving watercourse. The watercourse, a stream, is 8 metres from the boundary, inside a neighbour's land, meaning the water discharges directly into the neighbour's land.
minute.
Sorry?
30 seconds.
Oh, sorry. Not to the watercourse. These impacts are so serious as to render the proposals unacceptable. We very much hope that you will reaffirm your earlier decision and ask officers to address these additional concerns in the refusal notice. Thank you. Diolch yn fawr iawn.
Diolch yn iawn. Nesa mae gen i Rhys Davies sydd yn siarad o blaid. Iawn da, Rhys. Wedyn, ydych chi'n dalt y drill, dwi'n siŵr?
Iawn, diolch yn fawr.
Oce, diolch.
First point, the objector then raised a concern about the change of stance from the highways officer. We actually share that concern. We see that there's a memo on the placed on the application file today, a memo dated and timed at 7:10 last night, where the highway consultee seems to change his position in relation to the visibility of the site access. Plan was submitted by the applicant confirming the visibility of that site access back in March, and to submit comments last night is frankly unacceptable, and I think that's an issue that officers should be, whatever the decision, delegated to officers to look at further. In terms of the actual overall development itself, points of clarity there, the surface water proposals do work. The watercourse is on the applicant's site. We've got a direct correction to it, and that's actually confirmed in your addendum. So that is a non-issue as far as the point made by the objector is concerned. Frankly, what we have here is a development of 13 houses on a previously developed site in Cadnant Park. Planning policy says we should make the best use of these kind of sites. Previously developed, one single house on there at the moment, one huge house. Effectively, what we have before you is a mix of development, including 2 affordable units in a popular area to live. Cadnant Park shouldn't be an enclave for kind of large detached houses where people want to kind of have extensive gardens and no neighbours. What we're trying to do here is provide a mixed community and doing exactly what planning policy tells us to do. Planning policy actually tells us to develop at around about 30 houses to the hectare. The application that's before you today is nearly half that density. The density is 18.5 houses to the hectare, so it's a generous application that takes account of its setting. There were references to impact of retaining walls, etc. There's no objection from Natural Resources Wales or from the National Park in terms of the landscape impact of the development when viewed from the National Park and when viewed towards the bank that's part of the actual site itself. Likewise, any retaining walls will include screening to retain the privacy of the houses alongside the access road. There has been quite a bit of coming and going on this application since the last planning committee. We have worked hard to resolve issues with your officers. We might differ on the actual overdevelopment point and density, but I would say that we're there, and I'd urge you to approve the application despite the recommendation. Diolch yn fawr.
Diolch yn fawr, Mr Davies. Rwan, symud ymlaen i'r swyddog. Sarah?
Diolch, Cadeirydd. Pnawn da, good afternoon, councillors. There are a few updates on the addendum. In relation to additional neighbour objections, 4 additional objections have been received from 3 neighbouring residents, which have been summarised as follows. On highway safety points, objectors maintain that a safe visibility display compliant with TAN 18 cannot be achieved, even if the setback distance is relaxed to 2 metres. With regards to sweat path analysis, a vehicle and an entering HGV cannot pass one another simultaneously at this bottleneck. The layout will force larger vehicles to execute blind, hazardous reversing manoeuvres. And the proposed 2 metre active travel path is unachievable as the vehicle restraint barrier intrudes into the pathways and there are unresolved tactile crossing failures. With regards to the structural risks of the retaining wall, the access road slopes sharply eastward towards Cadnant Park. This topography necessitates a complex stepped wall design that must be significantly deeper, taller and wider along its length. And because there's 0 spatial latitude, a structurally sound code-compliant design simply will not fit within the plot. In terms of risks to life and property, the proposal represents an unacceptable threat to the safety and stability of number 32 Cadnant Park. Groundwater diversion and flooding, the concentrated underground water flow redirected by the upper retaining wall will find its natural escape route, and this accumulated volume will leak out of the open bank face directly into the southeast corner of number 32's private garden. With regards to the revised proposed drainage strategy, the stream to the north of the site would require construction of a new drain, and the northern boundary is not bound by a watercourse. This is in separate ownership and approximately 8 metres from where the applicant claims. High surface water flows are limited, forcing excess surface water from the estate roads and pavements to follow the gradient and flow out of the Bellmouth entrance into Cadnan Park, where it will enter the gullies network and thus indirectly into Dŵr Cymru's combined sewer network. The proposal now channels all surface water runoff to the proposed development to a single point discharge on the northern boundary. And whilst there may be no increased volume of ultimate discharge downstream to that leaked from across the whole North Bank, there's clearly a big difference in its phasing due to the big increase in surface water creation. Comments in relation to land ownership. Objectors note that no notice has been served on adjoining landowners, and the hedge and tree roots of the access boundary spread across the boundary between numbers 34 and number 32, meaning that the proposal occupies land within number 32 to install a vehicle restraint barrier. With regards to biodiversity, the 2 trees proposed to be retained within plot 3 will be buried by the proposed increase in garden levels behind the upper retaining wall. And in response to viability, as a result of additional infrastructure requirements, there'll be a loss of the affordable housing dwellings from the scheme. In response to neighbour objections and as additional officer comments, both SAB officers and highways officers have been consulted and asked to comment on the neighbour objections and on the assessment of the amended plans. In relation to SAB, SAB officers confirm that site inspections confirm that the application site directly adjoins the receiving water course along its northern boundary and that an existing drainage feature is present. The assessment has been based on observed site conditions and the submitted drainage information. No new culverted sections within third-party land are required to enable this connection. The proposed outfall is positioned at the site boundary to connect directly to this receiving feature to the existing land drainage feature within the site, and the proposed development introduces a controlled surface water drainage system discharging at the calculated greenfield runoff rates at the point of outfall. This ensures that additional runoff from the development does not exceed the rate that would occur from the undeveloped sites and therefore does not materially alter the overall discharge regime or increase downstream flood risk. In response to highways, the highways officer has reassessed the latest highway amendments to the access and has made a detailed site assessment. Further to the latest site assessment, the highways officer has revised their comments and do not support the proposed development. A highways officer states that as it has not been sufficiently evidenced that the visibility display to the southern side of Cadnan Park has required the minimum distance as per guidance, the highways officer confirms that the achievable visibility display at 2.4 metres is 14.3 to 14.5 metres, and the achievable visibility display at 2 metres is 23.4 metres to 23.1 metres for 20 mile per hour speed limits, and the required visibility is 25 metres. As a summary, for the reasons for refusal based on the assessment in January and the subsequent amendments to drainage and highways, and for the sake of clarity and to reaffirm the previous assessments, officers recommend that this planning application be refused on the following grounds: overdevelopment, layout, scale, built form and appearance, substantial loss of green infrastructure, impact of the design and intensified use of the access road upon the residential amenity of the neighbouring properties number 32 and 36 Cadnan Park, shortfall of affordable housing provision and insufficient viability assessment, impact of the proposed drainage provision upon visual amenity, appearance and character of the locality, and highways. The scheme does not achieve sufficient visibility to serve the development. The recommendation is to refuse planning permission. Diolch, Cadeirydd.
Diolch yn fawr iawn, thank you very much. Just to remind members, we do have officers from Highways and we have our SAB officer who works for ERF as well. So if there are any questions that you need to answered, we have some expertise here. So, members, who'd like to start? Councillor Joe Nuttall.
Diolch, Cadeirydd. Can I just ask why the change from highways so late in the day, please?
Paul Smith. Paul, you If you press your button again. That's my trick. Yeah. No.
So need Gronway to turn his off.
Is there too many on the list? Yeah. Too many. Right.
Okay. Thank you. So I heard the presentations from the residents and from the agents. It is very, very simplified to say that highways haven't realised something for every year. There's been much changes and much design changes that were not fully appreciated. I noticed the agent stated that he agrees with the visibility display differences. What he didn't mention was that the agent was asked to provide a plan and verify the data. We asked them and spoke to them multiple occasions. They held with the position that the visibility display was what it was. Because there is conflicting data, we did further investigations to confirm it, so the Highway Authority would have the detailed information to make that account. So I verified the data that we present to you.
Thank you. Due to the impact on daylight, the overbearingness of the application, concerns over access and highway safety, ecological concerns and the loss of over 100 metres in mature hedgerows and the overdevelopment of the site, I'd like to propose that we go with officers and turn this one down. Thank you.
Diolch. Do I have a seconder for that proposal? Cynghorydd Austin Roberts. Councillor Alan Hunter.
Sorry, Chair, I was just going to second that proposal. I think the summary of the reasons for refusal that we did previously, I think Joe's covered most of those, but I would include them in the reasoning. And the fact that the Highways Officer has reassessed. What we have in front of us is the addendum, and it's the information that's in there that is relevant to today's meeting, so I'll be supporting Joe's proposal.
Diolch yn fawr. Cynghorydd Gronwy Edwards, ddim eisiau siarad?
I have nothing to add. Now we've heard the members and the officers' revised recommendation, or I have nothing to add. Thank you.
Felly, oes unrhyw arall eisiau siarad? No? Okay. I think we need to make clear here what we're voting on, because in your addendum you have the summary of reasons for refusal. We have basically an adjustment to that slightly, Joe, as well, adding the hedging removal as well, yeah? Is that, yeah? Okay, so we're quite clear on what is in your addendum, the reason that why we are refusing the application. So at that, I'd like to go to the vote. All those in favour of the proposal to refuse. Can we open the vote, please? Green to agree, red to go against that proposal, and yellow to differ. Pedimato. Abstain, sorry. Has everyone voted? Okay. Can we close the vote, please? And that is carried. So the application has been refused. Symud ymlaen, diolch yn fawr. If members would like to stay with us, you can do. It'll probably be quite a long meeting, but if you want to leave now, you can do. I'll just give you a minute. Sorry, Mandy.
Hi, Chair.
Hi, Mandy.
Sorry, I have sent you a message. I did try coming in earlier, and for some reason I couldn't. It was just to note that I am a local member of the Gogg Moston ward, and there's 2 items on there. Item reference 053243 and 053244. Being a local member, I just want to notice that, you know, sorry, I've lost my train of thought there. Sorry,
It's all right.
a second. It's not prejudicial. I've had no conversation regarding it, so I will be staying in the meeting to take part.
Deal. Thank you, Mandy. Thanks for making us aware.
Sorry, I got in. Thank
No,
you.
you're
Bye-bye.
okay. Thank you. Yeah. So, moving on. Application 0/52745. Erection of 3 dwellings together with associated access, parking and landscaping at land north of Bryn y Coed, Deganwy. This application was deferred in the 13th of May meeting to allow for the application to be republicised. And I think it's afforded a site visit as well. So I will go over to the officer, who is James Chan. Diolch.
Yes, thank you, Chair. There are a couple of methods to update the members. First of all, is the typing in the report. I would draw your attention to paragraph 2, page 99. I think in the first paragraph, just add former before the curtilage land of number 8 Pwyllgor Cynllunio Road, just to reflect the current land ownership. I think in the report it referred to curtilage land of Pwyllgor Cynllunio, but when we look at the location plan, we can see that the current applicant of the development, it doesn't actually own the adjoining land at number 8 Pwyllgor Cynllunio. I should just be more precise, really, just to reflect the current ownership. So in paragraph 3 on the same page 99, just remove the first bullet point, demolition of detached garage building within the curtilage of number 8 Pwyllgor Cynllunio Road retrospective, because it's not in the proposal description on the application form. However, it is noted that there was a pre-existing garage building which is now demolished within the former curtilage land of number 8 Pwyllgor Cynllunio, where the site access and the proposed housing developments is constructed. And then paragraph 55 on page 121, in the first paragraph, add the word former before the curtilage land to reflect the current land ownership as well, which is just to be more precise, really, just to be add some clarity as well to the current land ownership. The applicant, it owned the land within the red line on the location plan, but it doesn't indicate any ownership of any adjoining land, including any land within number 8 Pwyllgor Cynllunio. We also have updates for public representations as well. We received an additional comment from Councillor Susan Shotter. Advised that as children and families live and play around the area and on the road, any construction work hours should be limited to 8:30 in the morning to 4:30 in the afternoon, Monday to Friday, and between 9 o'clock in the morning and 12 o'clock in the afternoon on Sundays, and no working on Saturdays, and no workings on Sundays. We also receive additional metaways in the representation as well. The Swift Path analysis drawing does not show parking space number 3, which is the garage building in the development, and all the parking spaces at the adjoining number 8 Pwyllgor Cynllunio Road. There's no change to recommendation. Thank you, Chair.
Diolch yn fawr. Aelodau. Members. Cynghorydd Gronfed Edwards.
Diolch, Cadeirydd. Having visited the sites previously with the site inspection, I am quite confident this can be achieved without causing major disruption to neighbours. It is, as opposed to the previous application, not overdeveloped, in my opinion. It's a substantial site. There are only 3 dwellings proposed, and I would recommend go with the opposite recommendation. On the actual working hours, I think it's unrealistic to expect them just to go from 8:30 to 4:30, because most building sites are open for at least 10 hours a day. So I think, and I agree they shouldn't be working on a Sunday, but I think 8 to 4 is a bit too limiting on the ability to build houses, and it's not a reasonable request.
Yeah.
But I am proposing the recommendation as seen in the addendum.
And was that to include not working on a Sunday, did you say? Yeah, okay. Do I have a seconder to that proposal? Councillor David Kerr. Yeah?
Yeah, I'd like to second the proposal, Chair. Yeah, mine to grant conditional planning permission. I agree with Councillor Gronway, shouldn't be working on Sundays, but on the other days, I think they want to get the building completed, so I don't think we should put restrictions on the other days. But yeah, not on Sundays. No, okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Cynghorydd Gwenel Ellis.
Diolch yn fawr. Just to clarify, is somebody able to give direction regarding the times of working hours as per the addendum? I'm also concerned if children or families live and play around the area on the road, could the working hours be between 8:30 and 4:30 Monday to Friday and 9 a.m. to 12 on a Saturday morning? How feasible is that, please?
James? Are you in?
Yeah, thank you, Councillor. I think it's quite often that the local authority will apply conditions to control construction works, partly for residential amenity purpose, obviously to protect the amenity in terms of noise and other forms of nuisance outside and sociable hours, also to allow us to control any highway impact as well during the construction works. Obviously, in terms of the hours, it will be for local authority to decide, you might say, for the council as well as the decision makers in this application. I think public protection, we generally recommend working hours or construction work hours between 8:30 in the morning and 6:30 in the afternoon, Monday to Friday, and then between 8:30 and 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturdays, and no worse on Sundays or public holidays. However, if the members consider that there's any particular reason that you think more restrictive construction hours should be imposed, then it will be up to the members to consider, really. If it's matters like residential amenity, some noise, nuisance, dust, etc. Other matters such as construction traffic, will it cause, or is it likely to cause any significant harm to highway safety, pedestrians, cyclists alike, or other road users? I think it would be for the members to exercise their planning judgment, really. When imposing condition, obviously we have to comply with the test in terms of whether it has to be necessary, reasonable, it has to be directly related to developments, related to planning as well. So there are certain principles and tests that you have to consider when imposing condition.
Gwenel, just a little.
Yes, I was mainly concerned about, the morning when families take their children to school and so on, if the construction vehicles are also entering the site. That was my reason for asking. Now then, I'm not sure, has James given us advice, or is he encouraging us to put a condition on? I'm not quite sure. So I'll ask the members to give their opinion as well. And if nobody's got an opinion, well, there we are.
Austin Roberts.
Diolch yn fawr, a gain gyntaf, eich llongyfarchu ar cael eich ail benodi yn cadeirydd y pwyllgor yma. Dwi'n anghytuno efo'r cynghorydd Gronwy Owen a David Carr, oherwydd mi fis i am flynyddoedd yn gweithio i gwmni adeiladu, ac yn aml iawn mi oeddan ni yn medru gweithio o hanner awr di 8 yn hanner awr di 4. Dwi yn sylweddoli Dwi'n deall pwynt y cynghorydd Gwynol Ellis ynglyn â plant. Hefyd, pwynt arall rhaid wneud ydy, nid yn unig maen nhw'n cychwyn am yr ysgol o gwmpas 8 y gloch, felly swn i'n dweud bod hanner awr 8 yn amser resymol i'r gwaith gychwyn. Hefyd, fel arfer mae plant yn dod adra tua 4 y gloch. Mae hwn yn teip o ardal lle mwy na thebyg mi fasach chi'n cael plant yn chwarae o gwmpas ar y stryd ac yn y blaen. Felly, mwyn diogelwch plant, swn i'n meddwl bod hwnnw yn reswm digonol i roed cyfyngiadau ar yr amseroedd gweithio. Diolch yn fawr.
Diolch yn fawr. 2 schools of thought, but I've only got one proposal and one seconder. So, does anybody else want to speak? Oh, Paula, sorry. I had to look up there to see you.
Thank you, Chair. I was just going to say, normally with residential applications, we do impose a condition that James has referred to from public protection, so that does limit the working hours on site. So I think that's till 6 p.m. in an evening. I mean, that's standard practice, and that's something that the planning committee have done on other residential developments. So I think you really need to think carefully as to whether or not you really want to go forward with a more restrictive condition.
Cynghorydd Gronwy Edwards.
Wedi gwrando, and having listened to other members, I'm happy to amend my proposal that it's from 8:30 until 6 and only half day on a Saturday and no working on a Sunday.
Diolch yn fawr. Councillor Carr, are you happy to second that?
Yeah, I'll second that. I think we're tempted to micromanage this, but do you know, at 7:30 on a Tuesday, we get the recycling coming, and it's coming all in the area. Are we going to stop that? Are we going to stop the recycling coming and all the noise and the big vat and everything at 7:30? You know, we're going to say, well, they've got to come after 7:30. So, you know, really it is a bit hypocritical of us when our own services are working at that time in the morning, you know, when children are going to school. So, you know, I support what Graham... It's a little bit restrictive, but not as restrictive as between 8:30. But yeah, I'm prepared to second Councillor Gronway. Thank you.
Iawn, diolch yn fawr. So, I've got a proposer, and I have got a seconder with amended hours, and I'm going to take that to the vote. And if that fails, then possibly somebody else can come forward. Yeah. So, all those, I'll open the vote now. All those in favour of that proposal, please press green. All those against, press red. And all those that want to abstain, press yellow. And can we close the vote, please? And the result is 7 in favour, 2 abstentions, and nobody against. So that is carried. Diolch yn fawr iawn chi. Symud ymlaen. Application 0/53243, the removal of the existing BT box to facilitate the installation of a proposed global street hub, including the association display of advertisements on both sides of the unit at land outside of 3839 Mossin Street, Llandudno. I think Paul is taking this.
Thank you, Chair. No further updates from me.
Aelodau. Cynghorydd Alan Hunter.
Thanks, Chair. Yeah, I'm happy to go with the officer's recommendation. We've had a similar one of these come to us. It's in the conservation area. So for the officer's reasoning, I'm happy to go with the recommendation to refuse.
Thank you. Do I have a seconder to that proposal? Councillor Austin Roberts. Anybody else want to speak on this? Councillor David Carr.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. It's not the red phone box. It's one of those sort of newer phone boxes, and it looks. I've seen it. It doesn't look that good, does it? You know, it is an eyesore. And to put something like a global street hub, I think it's good. We have conservation areas, you know, and I agree with that, but you know, it is an eyesore, that existing BT phone box, isn't it? Really, and I would think. So I would not agree with the officers on this. I think it would be good to put that global street hub there. I think it would be really good. I don't think the public would object to it personally. I don't, but that's my view anyway. Thank you.
Thank you. And Councillor Mandy Hawkins.
I actually agree with David here. Simple reason, I am a Clandidno resident. Our main tourist information hub has been moved out of the Victoria Shopping Centre now. So anything that highlights, you know, our businesses, you know, in the town. As David also said as well, being a conservation area, go across the country, and there's some beautiful conservation areas that I've got, you know, these information, you know, screens up, and they're very informative, and they don't, you know, need to bring an area down. It's about actually aiding the areas. So if Councillor David was looking to propose that, I'm happy to second them as well. Thank you.
Well, if the actual initial proposal fails, then we'll go to the second proposal. Right. Anybody else like to speak on this one? No? Then I've had a proposer to go with officer recommendation, and I've had a seconder. So I'll go to the vote, please. I could have voted, please. Those in favour, green. Those against, red. And I'll close the vote. That is carried 6-2 with one abstention. Diolch yn fawr. Thank you. Moving on to 0/53244. Display of advertisements on both sides of a new global street hub land outside 38 and 39 Mosson Street. Again, have we got anything to do?
No updates, thanks, Chair.
No update on that one. So we'll go again to you, members. Councillor Allen.
With the officer's recommendation, we've just decided on the previous one. So.
Diolch yn fawr iawn. And seconder, Councillor Austin Roberts. Councillor David Carr.
Yeah, I'm minded to go against officers' recommendations on this one, Chair, because I think you know these global street hubs, as Councillor Mandy did say, that the tourist information has now moved to Venue Cymru. It's not even there in the centre of town anymore, you know. And I think these are useful. My belief is that the residents would not oppose this, and residents would probably welcome it. So perhaps someone else could actually put a view on that. But that's my. I think really, you know, that we have to have conservation areas. I absolutely support that. But I think we're going a bit too far with this, really. Now that's my opinion. And we're not taking the public with us, are we? Thank you.
Well, thank you. Members, I have a proposer to go with officer recommendation. I have a seconder. Can we open the vote, please? And close the vote. And once again, that's carried 7-2 with one abstention. Diolch yn fawr. Thank you very much. So that is carried. Moving on to application 0/4/53342. Demolition of the existing unfit for purpose youth centre to be replaced with a new family centre providing a range of flexible, inclusive and accessible facilities to support families, children and partner organisations at the Youth and Community Centre, Brickfields Terrace, Llandudno Junction, Conwy. Llandudno Junction, Conwy. So, do we have any? No, we have no speakers. Go straight to James, is the officer.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. It's got a couple of items to update members. First of all, is the typing in the report, paragraph 33, page 15. There's a reference to application there. The reference number, it should be 0/48610, not 0/49810. So that's the.
Sorry, James.
No, it's okay.
1 minute. Sorry. Kind of thing I do.
Yeah, just to repeat really. Just first of all, it's typing. Paragraph 33 on page 15. Replace the reference number 0/49810 with 0/48610. You just correct the typo, which referencing to another application there in Llandudno. We received amendments from the applicant yesterday, and the amendment shows the following changes. It reduced the length of the gable lead to the southeast corner of the site, which the gable elevations now recess from the eastern side boundary and the pedestrian footway. There will be additional soft landscaping and green screening along part of the eastern side boundary. There will be addition of decorative details on the gable elevation lead to the southeast corner of the site. The amendment also removed the external pans and the external pans area from the rooftop of the buildings. There's also a site section drawing which demonstrates the change in the land levels adjacent to the eastern side boundary. The addendum attached the elevations drawing just for comparison for the members, just for easy reference, just to show the changes. Although these are minor changes, officers will consult residents with the amended plans, and officers are requesting dedicated authority to do so. We also received further consultation response from Wales Water. They don't have any objection to the proposal, but request a couple of conditions if the local authority is minded to grant planning permission. The first condition relates to service water should not be connected to the public sewer from any increase in the roof area or impermeable surface within the site. And also the second condition relates to protection zone, which is no permeable surface and shall be constructed or laid within the easement or 3 meters protection zone of any any public sewer on the site. We also received a representation yesterday as well, which raised objections to the development. The concerns relate to the construction traffic and the interruption to the operation of the shop and a local business in adjacent land. Officers' assessment following the submission of the amendment yesterday, officers have reassessed the impacts of the development on visual amenity and the street scenes. Officers consider that the amendment received yesterday presents some improvement to the development scheme. Although officers consider that the appearance of the proposed building can be improved further, the revised building designs and the soft landscape details would have a little impact on the street scenes dominated by 2-story height buildings and natural earth color tone materials and finishes, and would be difficult to resist. Officers therefore amend the recommendations to either to grant conditional planning permission and to authorize the development and building control manager to issue the planning decision under dedication. Thank you, Chair.
Diolch, James. Members, the last time today. Councillor Gronwy Edwards.
Diolch, Cadeirydd. I know this site very well, having visited it many times in the past. In my former life as a youth leader, took our youth club there many times to play different competitions. This building was out of date probably 30, 40 years ago, and I'm surprised it's lasted this long really without being repurposed. So I would fully support the recommendation that we allow this to go ahead in demolish. The only thing I would ask is there's not much detail on parking. If the new family centre, it does become a fact that there is consideration about parking, because obviously it will be a well-used building, I presume. So there's not much detail about parking, but I would support the recommendation that we grant in any case.
Diolch. Can I just bring in Paul? Can you elaborate on the parking in, please?
I would imagine, because I didn't do this application personally,
Okay.
that my colleague reviewed the central location of the building, and planning guidance often indicates that if somewhere is in a good community hub with great transport links and serves the local community, it's acceptable to reduce the car parking. I'm assuming that's what's happened in this instance, but like I said, I haven't done this application personally.
Thank you for the background. Diolch. Councillor Austin Roberts.
Diolch yn fawr. Gan bod y cynghorydd Tristan Lewis wedi ymuno yn un hwyr, gai longyfarchor cael ei ailesol yn is-gadeirydd y pwyllgor yma. Gai hefyd eilio'r cynnig y cynghorydd Granwy Owen i fynd gyda'r argymhelliad.
Diolch. So, Paul, would you like to put your mic off? Or, diolch. The one next door. No, ideal. Thank you. Councillor Alan Hunter.
Yeah, thanks, Chair. I was originally going to propose or second. This is something that will be a great benefit to the area. We have a family centre in Abergele where I am, and I know the invaluable work that goes on. So having something like this in Llandudno Junction, I think would be a great asset to them. So very happy to support.
Clue. Councillor David Carr.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. I was going to second as well. I think this is a fantastic development. Totally support it, and it's very, very welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Councillor Nia Owen.
Diolch yn fawr iawn. Gadeirydd a llongyfarchiadau i'r ddau ohonych chi. Di a cynghorydd Tristan. Dwi'n gweithio'n agos iawn efo'r canolfan deulu yma yn Llanrwst. O'n i jyst isio ychwanegu y ffaith does a ddim parcio o gwbl ynghlwm â'r ganolfan deulu yn Llanrwst, a mae o'n dal i weithio, mae bobl yn dal i fynychu. Lle dychmygu bod trafnidiaeth gyhoeddus yn gweithio'n chydig bach yn well yn gyffordd Llandudno nag ydi o'n Llanrwst. Felly dwi ddim yn meddwl bydd hynny yn her o gwbl i'r datblygiad arbennig yma ag pob lwc efo fo. Diolch yn fawr iawn.
Diolch yn fawr iawn. Os na rhywun arall siarad, anybody else want to speak before I go to the vote? If not, I've got a proposer and a seconder, and I would now open the vote, which is minded to grant conditional planning permission. Pawb yn hapus? Can we close the vote then, please? And that is unanimous. So thank you very much to you, the committee, and to our officers, and we shall see you next month. Diolch yn fawr i chi. Thank you very much.